Hello students, you all learned about the human parts in previous classes. Today we are going to learn about human organ systems. First of all, we are going to learn central nervous system. Central nervous system consists of the brain, spinal cord and nerves. Brain. We use our brain to think, read and write. The brain is covered by three membranes called meninges. They are dura mater, arachnoid membrane and pia mater. The brain is kept in a bony case called cranium or skull. It is made up of 8 immovable bones. The brain is made up of millions of functional units called neurons. Human brain is divided into 3 major parts. Forebrain, that is also called cerebrum. Midbrain, it is also called cerebellum. Hindbrain, it is also called medulla oblongata. Let us look into the forebrain, that is cerebrum. The forebrain consists of cerebrum, thalamus and hypothalamus. It is the large part of the brain. It is the center of the human memory. It is responsible for intelligence, imagination and also reasoning. Next one, midbrain, that is cerebellum. It lies behind the cerebrum. It coordinates the movements of the muscles of the body. It helps to maintain the balance of the body. The last one, hindbrain, that is nothing but medulla oblongata. The hindbrain comprises of pons and medulla oblongata. It is also called the brain stem. It is called vital node because it controls breathing, heartbeat and other involuntary muscles. It connects the brain to the spinal cord. It is spinal cord. Now we are going to learn something about the spinal cord. Each and every human being has this spinal cord. Spinal cord is long, a tube-like structure which extends from the brain. It lies within the backbone of our body. Peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system consists of nerves extending from the spinal cord to all parts of the body. It is made up of 2 parts: somatic nervous system, autonomous nervous system. Somatic nervous system carries sensations from the organs and take messages from the brain to the organs for movements. Autonomous nervous system controls the nerves of the inner organs of the body. in this class. That's it about central nervous system. Next thing, we are going to learn circulatory system. In this system, blood is circulated to transport oxygen and nutrients to every part of the body. Circulatory system consists of the following: heart, blood, and also blood vessels. We are going to learn about the heart. The heart is a hollow muscular organ. It is somewhat conical in shape. It is covered with double-walled membrane called pericardium. The space between the membranes is filled with pericardial fluid. The pericardial fluid protects the heart from shock. Heart is placed inside the thoracic chamber, that is the rib cage, in between the two lungs. The heart is divided into 4 chambers. 2 upper chambers is called atria or auricles, singular atrium. 2 lower thicker chambers are called ventricles. The upper and lower chambers of the heart are separated by a muscular wall or tissue known as the auriculoventricular septum of the heart. The right side of the heart, this is right side. Right side of the heart receives deoxygenated blood from the various parts of the body and pumps it to the lungs for oxygenation. The left side of the heart receives oxygenated blood from the lungs and pumps it into different parts of the body. Blood transports nutrients, oxygen, wastes, and hormones. The volume of the blood in human adult is 4 to 5 liters. It regulates water level and the body temperature. Blood is pumped throughout the body by the heart only. It takes oxygen to tissues and cells and finally reaches the lungs to take oxygen again. Blood vessels. Blood vessels consist of arteries and veins. Arteries carry oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery, which carries deoxygenated blood from the heart, and veins carry deoxygenated blood except pulmonary vein, which carries oxygenated blood to the heart. Do you know one thing? There are some animals like lobsters and crabs that have blue blood. Cockroach has colorless or white blood. Next one, we are going to see the respiratory system. The respiratory system provides oxygen to the tissues of the body and removes carbon dioxide from the tissues. There are three major parts forming the respiratory system, that is airway, lungs, muscles of respiration. Do you know one thing? People suffer due to smoke. Smoke contains large amount of carbon monoxide, a toxic gas. People, when engulfed in smoke on fire, die due to suffocation. Airway. Number one, we are going to learn about airway. The airway includes the nasal cavity. It is the nasal cavity, it is the nostrils. We know about it is a nose, nostrils, it is the nasal cavity. Pharynx, larynx, trachea and bronchi, and lungs. It is right lung, it is left lung. It carries air between the lungs and the surrounding. The lungs are the primary organs of the respiratory system. They are paired, cone-shaped organs. It is cone-shaped organs. They are located near the backbone on both sides of the heart. Muscles of respiration. Muscles of respiration include diaphragm and intercostal muscles. They act as pump and push the air into and out of the lungs during the breathing. You have to know this about air pollution causes many respiratory diseases. Smoking can cause lung cancer. Next, we are going to learn about digestive system. In digestive system, the food we eat consists of complex compounds like carbohydrates, proteins and fats. They have to be converted into simpler molecules like glucose, amino acids, fatty acids and glycerol respectively. These simpler molecules are then assimilated either by blood or lymph in order to give us energy. The process of conversion of complex food molecules into simpler molecules is called digestion. The digestive system can be divided into two, that is digestive tract and digestive glands. First of all, we are looking into digestive tract, that is alimentary canal. It is called muscular tube extending from the mouth to the anus. It is about 6 to 9 meters long and consists of many specialized divisions arranged sequentially. These are mouth, buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, it is rectum, anus. Do you know there are some organisms which live in the digestive systems of animals? For example, tapeworm. It is tapeworm lives in the human intestine. Let us learn about digestive glands. Three important digestive glands associated with the process of digestion are salivary glands, pancreas, and liver. Salivary glands secrete saliva, which moistens food. Saliva contains enzymes which break down complex starch into simple carbohydrate molecules. Pancreas. Here the pancreas will be located. Pancreas produces pancreatic juice which contain digestive enzymes for digesting fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. Liver. This liver produces bile for the digestion of fat. Here we have to know the three pairs of salivary glands: parotid, sublingual, and submandibular gland secrete approximately 1.5 liters of saliva every day. Next one, we are going to learn about the excretory system. Excretory system removes the waste products from the body. It also regulates water and electrolyte balance. Kidneys, lungs, liver, and skin together function as excretory organs. I am going to repeating this. Excretory systems are kidneys, lungs, liver, and skin together function as excretory organs. Excretory system consists of the following, that is kidneys, ureters, urinary bladder. I am going to say again: kidneys, ureters, urinary bladder. First, we have to learn about kidneys. The kidneys filter the blood to remove the waste and produce urine. The kidneys are a pair of dark red bean-shaped organs placed behind the abdomen on either side of the vertebral column. The average adult's kidney measures about 12 cm length, 6 cm in width, 3 cm in thickness. Right kidney is slightly lower than the left kidney. Each kidney covered by a fibrous membrane called capsule. The kidneys are made up of millions of excretory units called nephrons, which are the structural and functional units of the kidney. Ureters. Here, two ureters connect the kidneys with the urinary bladder. Urine formed from each kidney reaches urinary bladder through these ureters. Urinary bladder. It is urinary bladder. It is sac-like in shape and acts as a temporary storage of urine. Remember, it is a temporary storage organ of urine. urine entering the urinary bladder from the ureters slowly fill the hollow space inside the bladder. Urine is expelled from the body through the urethra. It is urethra. Every minute, here we have to know about something new thing, that is every minute kidneys receive approximately 1.250 liter of blood. It is every minute, not a hour. Every minute kidneys receive approximately 1.250 liter of blood.